Have you ever wondered what a parent would sacrifice for their child's future? Well, this story is about a father who gave up everything, his home, his comfort, his entire life as he knew it, just so his daughters could have a chance at theirs. His name was Mr. Obi, and his journey starts in a small town filled with big dreams. He believed education was the one thing that could rewrite their destiny, even if it meant erasing his own present. Stick around, because the incredible sacrifice he makes leads to a twist of fate that no one, especially him, could have ever seen coming. Mr. Obi once lived a simple, happy life. He had a modest job, a cozy little house, and 2 daughters who were the absolute center of his universe. He didn't have much wealth, but he was rich in dreams for them. From the moment they learned to read, he'd tell anyone who would listen, "These girls, they're going to be something special, something bigger than I ever was." But as the years went by, the world changed. The cost of living soared, and the school fees became a mountain he couldn't seem to climb. Bills piled up, food became a careful calculation, and every night was a battle against the gnawing worry of how he'd keep his promise to his daughters. He hustled like never before, taking on extra jobs, working late into the night, doing any honest labor he could find. But it was like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in it. Inflation was just too fast. Still, one thing remained unshakable. He would not let his daughters drop out of school. One evening, dragging himself home after a long day, he found 2 envelopes on his table. Final fee reminders. The amount was staggering, more than he could possibly earn in months. His heart sank. His daughters watched him, their young eyes filled with concern, even as he forced a smile. That night, long after they were asleep, he sat under a dim streetlight and made a decision that would change everything. He decided to sell it all. The furniture, his tools, even the small house that held all their memories. He wasn't giving up. He was investing. He believed education was the one gift that could never be lost or taken away. The following week, he did it. Neighbors were stunned. Some pleaded with him. Others whispered he was being foolish, too emotional. He didn't listen. Every single coin went straight to the school. By the end of the month, his daughters' fees were paid in full. They were secure. But he, their father, now had nowhere to call home. Mr. Obi quietly became homeless. It wasn't dramatic or loud, just a silent, lonely reality. He found shelter on public benches in busy areas or in the corners of marketplaces, always choosing places with guards where he felt safe. He never told his daughters the truth. He didn't want his struggle to become their burden, a distraction from their studies. Every morning, he'd wash up in a public restroom, straighten his shirt, and meet them with a warm smile, acting as if nothing had changed. "Education first," he'd tell them. "I am fine." But after they left for school, his real work began. He'd search for odd jobs, carrying packages, helping shop owners, cleaning, anything for a few coins. He didn't spend that money on himself. He used it to buy snacks for his daughters, so they wouldn't feel different from their classmates. Despite the hardship, he held on to hope, and soon that hope would connect him with people who saw the hero behind the hardship. In the bustling market, an elderly fruit seller named Mama Tonia started to notice a pattern. Every morning, the same kind man would help her arrange her crates and clean her stall, always politely refusing any payment. And every night, she'd see him on the same bench, sketching in a small notebook. One day, her curiosity and concern got the best of her. "My son," she asked gently, "are you all right?" He gave her his usual warm smile. "I'm fine, Ma. I just like to help." But Mama Tonia had lived a long life. She could read the truth in his tired eyes. She started leaving him extra food, pretending it was unsold, even though it was perfectly fresh. He always accepted with a humble thank you. One evening, she discreetly followed him and saw where he slept. Her heart ached for him. The next morning, She approached him again, but this time she held out a small envelope. He immediately shook his head. "No, Ma, I can't take money." She smiled warmly. "It's not for nothing. It's because the world needs more people like you." Later, when he opened it, there was no money, just a simple note that read, "One day, your daughters will tell the world what you sacrificed for them." Tucked inside was just enough cash for a few nights in a guest house and a proper meal. For the first time in weeks, Mr. Obi slept on a bed. And he cried, not from sadness, but from overwhelming gratitude. He could finally rest. As weeks turned into a month, Mr. Obi's quiet resilience started to get noticed. A local journalist, working on a story about unsung community heroes, overheard a shopkeeper talking about the man who helps everyone but sleeps nowhere. Intrigued, the journalist approached Mr. Obi and, with a gentle and respectful ear, listened to his story. Not a sensationalized version, just a simple, powerful truth. The journalist was deeply moved. With Mr. Obi's permission, he wrote an article, "The Father Who Put Education Above Comfort." The story went viral. It was shared thousands of times, touching hearts across the country. And then, one person, a very influential person, saw it and made a phone call that would change everything forever. When his daughters learned the whole story, they broke down in tears, not for the scholarship, but for the silent battle their father had fought for them. They wrapped their arms around him, and for the first time, he let himself cry in front of them. These were not tears of sorrow. They were tears of victory. Years later, both daughters graduated at the top of their classes, one becoming a doctor, the other an engineer. At their graduation, they brought their father onto the stage. "Everything we are," one of them announced to the cheering crowd, "is because our father believed in our future more than his own comfort." The man who once slept on market benches stood there, not as a victim, but as a hero. This story is a powerful reminder that the greatest acts of love are often the quietest sacrifices. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more inspiring stories.